Hello, my name is Darren Thomas. I'm the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, I'm going to show you two different ways how you can bring data into the R environment. As you know, most of us, we're using R not to play with the pre-installed data sets that are available through the R language. We want to bring our own actual data into that. And so there are many different ways that this can be done. I'm going to show you how you can manually input your information into R, or how you can import a CSV. So let's begin by first looking at how we can actually code data into R manually. This is probably not very common unless you're doing like a very small project, like a couple hundred surveys or something. Normally we want to bring in data that has already been somehow compiled electronically, but for students and other people who are, experimenting, or who maybe there's no way to collect the data electronically, it may be necessary to input the data into R directly. And so to do this, you first have to make an empty data frame. So we're going to call our data frame practice. And so we're going to use the data frame function here, and just press Control Enter to load that into the computer. And now we're going to use practice again, and what we're going to do is we're going to edit practice. Now I know this might sound confusing, but in order to edit practice, which is in line 2, I must first create practice. However, I'm going to overwrite practice. I hope that's not confusing. What's happening here is I first create a data frame called practice. Then what I do here is I edit practice and I name it practice again. That's essentially what is happening here. Now when I press Control Enter, you'll see I get this little screen here that you can input information into. I can make it a little bit bigger for you, but I can't zoom in on it. Sorry about that. And so you can see here I have this table right here, and I can put my data in as so. And I can also rename the variable. So if I click on variable 1, I know you can probably barely see that, but there's something there called change name, and I can now change the name of variable 1. So I might put, respondents. Normally that's the first row. And then I can put numbers here, and I'm putting numbers as so. I know you can't see that. Please be patient. And then I want to rename my second variable. I might change that to scores. So maybe like this is like a collection of quiz scores or something. So 78, 89, 76, 66, 92, 99. And then of course we're going to put person 7 and 77. All right. When you are done inputting data, you pretty much press quit and the data is saved. All right. Now if I want to look at it, I just type in practice like so. And you can see right here that I have all the information I just provided by manually coding. Again, when you do this, is going to be very unusual in my experience, but I use R for much more complex reasons. But you can see right here, this is exactly what I put into the computer, and then you can do further analysis as you desire. There's a second way also. For example, if you want to load a CSV document as an example that you want to load into R, CSV documents can be pretty big, and so you might want to do that. And in order to do that, you have to do a slightly different, use slightly different syntax and different functions. So now we're going to install or import a data set into R. So we're going to call this object practice2. And now to be successful with this, you must use the read.csv function like so. And then inside the read.csv function, you must put the exact location of the file that you want to use. So my exact location is this. I'm using Linux, so I have to use the backslashes like this. Please remember also that Linux is case sensitive, R is case sensitive, so you must type it in exactly. Otherwise, you will get an error message. All right, so after I did that, I press Control Enter. This is the location on my computer, if you're curious. And now if I want to view this, obviously the easy thing right now would be to use the str function and type in practice2, which is the name of it, press enter, and you can see right here I get a summary of the information I just loaded into the computer. So those are two ways that you can import files into R. These are the ones that I've experienced the most of my life in my own personal journey using R, particularly CSV files. But of course, we're not limited to that. You can load SPSS files, JSON files, you name it, Excel files, although that's a little bit of a headache at times. Database files like MySQL and Oracle, etc. There's many, way more ways that you can actually do this. But again, for the average user, you're either going to probably load a CSV file, or you might actually put it in manually by hand yourself if you so desire. So I hope that this video was useful for you. As I mentioned already, we learned 2 different ways to load data into R, whether you can put it in manually if you so desire, if you're working with a little bit of data, or if you want to load something like a CSV file that could have been created by the application. So we hope that this video was useful for you, and we thank you for watching. Take care.